Hey guys, it's Graham. Welcome back to Trucker Man Reads. My staycation is over and I am back on the grind. Had another 10-hour Monday. And so to get back in the rhythm of things, I listened to some shows and some videos that I was behind on, and then listened to a book. Today's came by way of Speechify from my friend Sam Robb. I've never met Sam in person, but I've known him through the internet for the last 9 years or so. Cool cat. I believe he's a Pittsburgh native, and he's a Navy veteran. The Navy part is less relevant than the Pittsburgh part. He, for years, has always been very active in going on walks in Pittsburgh on like Sundays, especially, and just posting pictures of urban sites that he sees, old factories, old neighborhoods, and stuff. And he's especially kept an eye out for graffiti and tags. And I never got all that curious as to why, but it's something that I recognize he kept an eye on. It's like, hey, here's from this Sunday's walk through downtown or whatever. Like, okay, cool. I went and visited Pittsburgh for the first time 2 years ago this month on a trip with my brothers. We went to Philadelphia and then Pitt, following the Knights for a couple of road games. And I was surprised at how attractive some of the architecture is in Pittsburgh. It's got this reputation as a working class town, manufacturing town, steel mill town. And so in my head, the picture painted of that was just kind of, grungy and down to earth. But some of the downtown areas where we walked, like there were some very beautiful older buildings there. And then, of course, we saw the Three Rivers confluence and the major sports complexes there. And we saw, I don't know what the name of their NHL arena is. Before the Knights came to Las Vegas, the Pittsburgh Penguins were my team. My brothers and I we were into hockey as kids. So, going and seeing a Penguins game was cool. It just sucks that they had to shut out the Knights at that game. But I digress. All of this is to say that I've got some familiarity with Pittsburgh and some animosity stemming from the fact that, in the NFL, I'm a Colts fan, and there appears to be some kind of jinx that the Colts can't win in Pittsburgh more than, once every freaking 20 years. And since Sam is a Pittsburgher, a Yinzer, as they say, and since the Colts just freaking lost in Pittsburgh again yesterday, the time is well spent that I should review this book. And at least within the pages thereof, I found a potential explanation as to why the Colts are so jinxed. So after that long, wandering introduction, the book is called Sigils. The cover art really, really pops. To get one of my other conflicts of interest out of the way, in addition to the fact that I know Sam, this book is also put out through my same publisher, through Raconteur Press. So that said, I am still going to offer an honest take here, and that'll include some criticism. Nevertheless, this is a book that to which I give a recommendation. It was a good read, and I thought that especially the setting was fascinating, and the stakes were good. Going back to the whole bit about Pittsburgh and tagging and stuff, our main character is a kid named James O'Neill. His tag is Leo, and he's an art student, a troubled art student, and after getting rejected from art school, after having trouble paying his way into it, he decides to invade Poland and force France to surrender. No, wrong art student. I digress. He's a senior, graduation looms, and he's an artist, and he's into the graffiti and the tagging scene. And this is relevant because there's a supernatural underground to this in Pittsburgh, at least as far as this setting goes. And during a chance encounter with some people who are in the know about this supernatural element, James accidentally activates a sigil that then kind of, that disguised as a tag, that then breaks a barrier between our world and the world of fairy, the supernatural realm. And this gets him into some trouble, and it puts a otherwise hideous and invisible creature on his trail. And he's got to kind of learn at speed what the heck is going on and how to survive it, while also juggling the other stuff that a soon-to-be high school graduate is worried about. How am I going to pay for college? What are my options there? He's the son of a single mom who works in nursing and in ERs, and she's got her own kind of chainsaws to juggle on that front. So there's a bit of coming of age to it and all of that. But I thought that especially the setting and those elements that are unique to Pittsburgh and unique to this magical concept that Sam came up with were very strong, and that's what carried me through the story. If I'm going to offer criticism of it, I would say that kind of the story elements they're well trod. Like this is sort of a coming of age bit that's been done before, and for the plot, we'll just say that he goes with things that are reliably established, and I might have wished that things were a little bit more kinetic. We'll say I would have wished for a little bit more motion, but that is it's also fair to say that he's not like dragging it out too long. The story moves at a good clip. Word count was around 40K, and he gets to kind of spend time with the characters that he's introducing you to, and all of that gets to breathe. I found especially like value in it because, like I said, I've walked the streets of Pittsburgh a little bit, and I found it to be a beautiful city. But like any city where you visit the touristy parts of it, there's also going to be interesting things around the lesser trod corners of it and back alleys and such. And Sam's knowledge of the game on the ground, of the layout of the streets, shines through, really bringing the setting itself to life as a character. So between all of that and the really vibrant interior art that Cedar Sanderson did for it, and man, that cover is just, in addition to like the perspective and all of that being really dynamic, the color theory on that is just, it pops very, very strong. Like this is definitely a art style that screams, street graffiti at you. Just this last Friday, I went with my kids on a homeschool walk around a certain part of OKC where it's not graffiti. They're like, whatever the term is, like officially sanctioned wall murals in this one part of town. It's a beautiful medium. I also, when I was living in Spain, tags were very common, even to the point where it was kind of making everything ugly. Like kids would just tag stuff freaking everywhere, even church buildings and stuff. Anything with a ground floor window had those windows barred. Like vandalism was taken to an extreme. So I think there is a beautiful way and an ugly way to do all that, but it's nevertheless an aesthetic with which I'm familiar, and it was used to great effect in this story as we get to know James O'Neill and the supporting cast of characters who are in the know and in the periphery as he figures out what is this barrier like and who's after him and what are the hazards that he has to navigate while figuring out kind of everything else in this, like I said, well-trod coming-of-age story. Sam did a great job with it. Content-wise, there was a smattering of language here and there, nothing super overt. It was like, if you get the big over-the-top swear words, like the S word and the F word, like there were one or two each of those in there, and a couple of other pieces of profanity, just to, I think, to kind of like give it teeth, to show that like, hey, when you're dealing with kind of the seedy underworld, whether it's natural or magical, like these aren't exactly people that are going to be watching their language, but he didn't also like spam the profanity button and go in the other direction. I think it was done well in the service of kind of an authentic portrayal of that side of a municipality. Other than that, no, all very well done, and I'd read a sequel. So check out the link for Sigils by Sam Robb. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my Amazon page and grab a copy of Fossil Force, my new release from just last week. Drive safe. See you out there.